Well, it's almost spring, and for some that means spring break if you're lucky. Chris McGinnis, editor of the TravelSkills.com blog and an SF Gate contributor, joining us today. Thank you so much for being here.
Sure
How
thing.
fun.
Yeah.
All right, first and foremost, we got to talk about those destinations, because what is a hot destination this year for anybody who's traveling?
Well, you know, spring break always makes people think about Mexico, and that's very hot this year because we have a brand new airline serving San Francisco to Cancun. Interjet just started service last month, and they have been offering fares of about $300 round trip, which is a great deal considering you usually pay $500 to $600 round trip to fly to Cancun. It's a 5-hour flight, and for the East Coast, the West Coast, the entire country, Cancun is pretty much spring break central. If you're a college student, that's where you want to be.
I think of, woo, party time, you know, beach and drinking and getting some sun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, and,
So
and what else is on the list too?
Well, a lot of people are now going to Europe because it's become so inexpensive, especially from the Bay Area to fly there. If you're flying out of Oakland now, you can jump on Norwegian Air or Level or British Airways and fly to Europe for about $500 round trip, which is really good and really in the budget for a lot of people. You can go over to Europe for a week or so. The problem with Europe this year, though, is that the U.S. dollar is losing value very rapidly, and so it's a lot more expensive this year than it was last year. So we're looking at the euro being about $1.24 this year. Compared to last year when it was about $1, and the British pound is now about $1.40, and last year it was about $1.20. So it's a lot more expensive, about 20 or 30% more expensive to be there.
Yeah, hey, at least it's not back when, I remember when London used to be 1 to 2.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was so expensive
Exactly,
that way.
exactly.
All right. Moving on, let's talk about also this shoulder season, because you and I talked about maybe some better times to go if you can't go during spring break time.
That's right. So we have a very unusual spring, not very unusual, but something that people need to pay attention to this year is that we have the collegiate spring break, which takes place pretty much during the month of March, and family spring break, which usually takes place between the 1 or 2 weeks around Easter. This year, Easter is on April 1st, which means that last week in March is going to be a combination of college students and families trying to all take their vacation at that time. So it's going to be very expensive, very crowded. So I urge people to get to the airport on time if you're flying, especially weekends, the weekend before or the weekend of Easter. It's going to be very crowded. There are going to be some surprises at airport security and that kind of thing. So be aware of that. If you haven't made plans yet and you can travel midweek, if you can, instead of leaving on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, leave on Monday or Tuesday, you're probably going to get a better deal, and you're less likely to encounter those big crowds that you'll see on weekends right around Easter.
Yeah, really great tips to know. So mark your calendars.
Yep.
Make sure you can kind of, take advantage of those good deals.
That's right.
Okay, Chris McGinnis, many thanks to you for being
All right.
here.
Thanks for having me on.